right about now. Well, check it out now. Right about now. Well, check it out now. Right about now.
To build a Supafly FlipMicro, we're going to start with a frame. The frame can hold different size stacks, and we can also put them at different angles. So in this build, I'm going to put it at like 45 degrees. I'm going to use my own 12mm cap head screws, and I just want to keep it nice and neat and low profile if possible. Make sure when you put the nuts on these screws that they're nice and tight, and also use some Loctite so they don't come undone. Once done, you should have a kind of nice diamond formation. Next, take the 5 20mm standoffs and the 5 9mm button head screws. Insert them into the frame, as I'm doing here. And give it a good tighten once done. You don't want these little standoffs rotating really. And now it should look a little something like this. Next, take the carbon fibre, which will soon be holding the camera, and you'll need 3 22mm standoffs and 4 8mm countersunk screws, and the blue washers, or whatever colour washers you may have got. Assemble it like so, and then it should look a little something like this. Now we'll attach this to the frame using the 2 8mm button head screws. Now take the top deck and 5 8mm countersunk screws and attach it. And then we'll give it a weigh to see how much everything's going to weigh. So the frame by itself is coming in at about 36 grams. With the camera holder, it's about 38 grams. And now with the rest of the TPU that we'll probably require, we're coming at about 44 grams. The capacitor holder I designed and printed off myself for the capacitor with the Flywoo AIO, but it's about 44 grams for that as well. So before we screw the motors to the frame, we need to add the little boots that protects the end of the carbon fibre. It's pretty hard to do. You'll need to use a bit of force like I'm doing here, and it will probably hurt your fingers. And when you're finished, it should look a little bit like this, coming together nicely. Now take your stack or your AIO. It'll have a little arrow on it to face forwards, but I'm going to rotate mine just so I can connect the aerial easily at a later date, and so the power for the battery is coming out the front. Also note the USB connector nicely comes out the bottom of the drone. Because I've rotated it, we're going to have to tell Betaflight this later on. If we don't, you'll find out that when you try to take your drone off, it'll probably flip. Now take the 4 little plastic nuts that you've got and secure the AIO down. You want it nice and tight, but so it's still got a bit of spring in it. Now take the capacitor and put it on the drone, just offer it up and put the camera holder on just to make sure that it's not going to get in the way. And what we're going to do is attach some wires so we can attach it to the board. The shorter the distance from the board to the capacitor, the better. Remember, negative on the capacitor is the one with a white stripe on the side. Use a bit of heat shrink as well, because you don't want any of the metal touching the carbon fibre. Once the capacitor's done and dusted with, take your battery power cable, trim it if you need to, and solder that to the board as well. And now it should look a little bit like this. Next, take your motors. I'm using RC Power ones, the 1303 6000 kV 3S, and you can actually buy them straight from the Supafly website as well. Once you've got the motor screwed on, trim the cables down, tin the tips of them, and also prepare the board in much the same way, ready for soldering. Use plenty of flux because it helps loads. Once this is done, it's usually a good idea to get your smoke stopper and give it all a test. A nice set of familiar beeps means we're all good. Next, secure your motor wires down with a bit of motor wire tape. Here I'm using a Flywoo lite wide air unit, and I'm going to secure it to the frame using the inner holes. To do this, I'm going to use 4 7mm screws. The light air unit, by the way, I've got it in a Flywoo heatsink just for a bit of protection. It'll add 4 or 5 grams, so it's up to you if you want to use it or not. For my build, I needed a longer MIPI cable and a longer data cable coming from the air unit. 10cm cables should do it. Secure the battery power cable to a standoff using a zip tie. If your battery ejects, you don't really want the power cable ripping on your AIO. Next, take your camera in the appropriate TPU mount and screw it all together. And now it should look like this. So let's secure that back to the main frame and get the TPU bumpers and attach them. In a crash, it should help protect the carbon fibre at the front end. Next, take your ELRS holder and attach that to the back end. I threaded mine under my air unit to keep it tidy and attached it to the connector at the back of the board. So next, get your video antenna TPU and attach that to the back of the drone. I'm using a little stubby aerial here. So now we're pretty much finished. Attach the top deck again. It should look a little something like this. Add your battery pad and your props. When you attach the props, just be careful the screws aren't too long. I think mine were a bit long, and I think I actually went for 6mm in the end. So popping it back on the scales again, we're coming in at 109 grams. With a strap, it's 111 grams, but you do get 2 straps, so you could add another strap. And with a 550 battery, we're at 157 grams. And that's it. That's how you build a Supafly FlipMicro. Time for the fun part.
Right about now. Well, check it out now. Right about now. Well, check it out now. Right about now. Check it out now, the funk soul brother. Right about now, the funk soul brother. Check it out now, the funk soul brother. Right about now, the funk soul brother. Check it out now, the funk